Hello guys, welcome to this session. In today's session, we are going to be sharing the analysis of the NEET 2018 paper. So as many of you know that the NEET paper was held today, and we also visited a lot of centers across Mumbai and spoke to the students, their parents, and got their reactions. We are going to be sharing all of that with you in today's paper. Trishla, is it true, like how many students attempted the NEET paper today?
So today close to 13.4 lakh students attempted the NEET 2018 paper, and that is almost 2 lakh students more than last year. Last year there were just 11.5 lakhs. However, it's important to note that all of these students are competing for 60,000 seats in MBBS and BDS colleges.
Right.
So it's I think one reason why there's such a sharp increase in all of these students is because so many states have moved to giving NEET more preference than state CETs. So in fact, Maharashtra itself has completely gotten rid of MHT CET for medical entrances and are only moving their students on NEET.
Oh, so they prioritize NEET.
Yes.
Oh, wow. And that kind of explains the increase in the number of students attempting NEET this year.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Great.
Yes.
So, is NEET like it's an offline mode, right?
Yes, it's only an offline exam, unlike JEE, which has both online and offline modes. How long is this paper for?
So the paper started at 10 a.m. and it went on till 1 p.m. So that is 4 hours.
Right. All right. So
that's 3 hours, not 4 hours.
Yes, that's 3 hours.
Yeah.
So and the NEET paper has a total of 180 questions.
Yeah. So the breakup is for physics and for chemistry, there are 45 questions, and then in biology there are 90 questions.
Okay.
So 45, and then 90 questions in biology. Biology section is also further classified into botany and zoology.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And what about the marking system of NEET? How does that work?
So according to the marking system, if a student gets one question correct, then they're awarded 4 marks. However, NEET has negative marking. So if a student gets a question wrong, then 1 mark is deducted. However, there's no negative marking for a question that has not been attempted. So I think this is basically done to dissuade students from guesswork. So that they don't, when they mark a question only when they're very sure of it.
Right. So, we did the analysis of the NEET paper today. And according to our experts at Toppr, the paper was slightly easier than last year's paper. And our experts felt that the paper was moderately easy. Most of the questions, they weren't that time consuming. And also, there were some similarities found between the weightage of marks in this paper and the 12th standard syllabus.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's nice. That would help a lot of students who have been following the NCERT syllabus.
Correct. Yes.
So moving on to the 3 sections, physics, chemistry, and biology. We'll first start with the physics section.
Yeah.
Physics was the toughest section amongst the 3, and this section was lengthy as well. Our experts said that there were many calculation-based questions, and which is true because even last year physics was the toughest section. And there were 24 questions from the 12th standard syllabus, and the rest were from the 11th standard syllabus. And since we did speak to a lot of students at the different centers, all of them, I think most of them mentioned that physics was the most difficult section out of the 3. And so we also asked them about the tough questions and the topics from which the tough questions were asked. And our experts also felt that the tough questions were asked from electromagnetic, induction, dual nature of matter, and radiation. So these were the topics of the tough questions that were asked in the NEET paper today.
Right, and according to our experts, most of the weightage was given to mechanics and electrodynamics. So I think that's also where a lot of the calculation-based questions came from.
Right. Now moving on to chemistry. Chemistry was the moderate section amongst the three, and this section was not very lengthy. There were 20 questions that were asked from the 12th standard syllabus and 20 questions from the 11th standard syllabus. This section had one difficult question, 20 moderate questions, and 24 easy questions. Well, most of the questions that were asked were based on simple concepts. And what about the tough questions in chemistry, Trishla?
So most of the tough questions came from haloalkanes and haloarenes. That's where most of the toughest questions came from. And where was the maximum weightage given to?
The maximum weightage in chemistry was given to physical chemistry, out of organic and inorganic. Physical chemistry was given the most.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to
the final section.
Yes, the biggest section. Biology was surprisingly the easiest section amongst the three, and it was also not lengthy. So there were 46 questions from the 12th standard syllabus and 44 from the 11th standard syllabus. And this section had 9 difficult questions, 33 moderate questions, and 48 easy questions. That's almost half of the section was qualified as easy questions. This section was also easier than last year. There were very few application-based questions, and most of them were based on the NSORT syllabus, and they were concept-based.
Correct.
So, what do you think? Which subjects had the toughest questions?
So, in biology, the tough questions came from diversity in living world, cell structure and function, diversity in living life, and human physiology. Now, these topics were from the class 11 syllabus. From the class 12 syllabus, the tough questions came from biology and human welfare, biotechnology and its applications, ecology and environment, and reproduction. Now, since we're taking a look at the paper analysis, I also want all of you to know that we are uploading the answer key as we speak. And so we are going to embed the links in the comment section in the chat. Please go ahead and take a look at our answer keys. And also we are uploading the video solutions for the various questions in the paper. So please go ahead and take a look at the answer key and the video solutions that we are uploading as we speak, guys. Now, moving on to, we're talking about biology. Now, what about the weightage? Which section was given the most weightage?
Well, that was zoology, and I think that has been the case for many years now. Zoology has been given most amount of weightage, and it's followed by botany and then applied biology.
Right.
Also, one more thing, if you have any questions or if you want to know if that there were any questions that you could not solve, you can go on to our YouTube channel. You can ask us on chat, and we will try to answer all of your questions. So you went to one of the centers.
Yes.
And what did you feel? How was the atmosphere there? Did you speak to the parents?
Oh yeah, so we reached the center at around 11:30, and then there were a lot of these anxious parents who were waiting outside the center, and we did speak to quite many of them, and all of them, I think they were as nervous as the students, if not more nervous. And so we asked them, how are you feeling? And they were like, there is this, there are butterflies in our stomachs. We can't wait for our kids to come out, and I hope the paper is going good. And so they were as nervous as the students. But all of them were so supportive, and they were like, I spoke to, I think, around 10 to 20 parents, and all of them mentioned that, our kid wants to become a doctor, he wants to do something in medicine. And they mentioned that their kids are super passionate about this, and they were all studying very hard, or prepping very hard for the NEET exam. So parents were nervous, but they were also excited for their kids' futures. We also spoke to the students there. Most of them thought that physics section was the toughest. So, as soon as I started asking them, so how was the paper? They were like, it's good, but physics was lengthy. The numericals were a little difficult. Also, Jugal, I remember one of the candidates that we spoke to, he said that a lot of biology questions were similar to the previous year's papers. And if you'd solve them, then biology would be like the easiest. So they were all, I think most of them were very excited how their biology section went. They thought that biology was the easiest amongst the three.
That's great. And if you have solved the previous year papers, then you're familiar with those questions. And I think they would end up saving time while they're solving the biology paper, time which they might have lost out on in physics.
Correct. Yeah. And we also asked them the toughest question that probably anyone can ask. How many marks are you expecting? And all of them were like, they were a little shocked. They were like, okay, we're just done with the paper, we don't know. But they kind of mentioned that we are expecting somewhere in the range of 350 to 400. Right. And I think we should also talk about, it is a 720 marks paper.
Yes. So that's 180 into 4, and that's how it goes to 720. So that's the maximum marks that they can score. Right. However, it has negative marking. If you have marked a lot of answers incorrectly, then you might have a negative score as well. And we will find out on the day of the NEET results, right? 5th of June.
5th of June is when the results are coming out.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I hope everything goes well then. Yeah, and
I hope that everyone who's listening here, most of them get good marks, and and we know that you're anyway nervous about the results coming out, and even though it's a while from now, but we really wish you all the best. And
yeah, so just to let you know that I think our analysis of the paper is that it was a moderately easy paper. Yeah. Now I know that most of you felt that the physics section was time consuming because of the numericals, but all the students that I spoke to were able to complete the paper in time.
That's great.
So that's good. I hope you all were able to complete the paper. And also, some of them also mentioned that, now they are prepping for MSCT, and they were kind of looking forward to those preparations as well. And most of them said that they studied from NCERT. And so they were like, most of the questions did come from NCERT, and nothing was out of syllabus.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So I hope guys will are asking us questions in the chat below. We'll be taking up the questions, as soon as possible. Yeah, let me just take a look at the questions.
While we look at the questions and we hope that we can solve them, please subscribe to our channel and the buttons right below, and ask us more questions, and share this video, and let's hope that share it with most of your friends and whoever you can, whoever has given the NEET exam.
Right. Okay, so I'm just taking a look at the students' questions. Just a minute. I think we've already started uploading our video solutions, and the answer key is already available in the comment section. Please go ahead and take a look at the answer key. And don't forget, like Trishla said, subscribe to Toppr and keep on and keep asking us your questions. I want to tell you, this interesting story. So we went at the center today, and this was we spoke, like I told you, we spoke to a lot of parents, and then we found this this father, and he was a little emotional, and we were like, okay, what's going on? And he said a tree fell on his daughter's foot 10 days ago, and she's been preparing for NEET for over 6 months now, and she actually gave the paper while sitting on a stretcher, and that was heartwarming. And
it just shows that how passionate students are about this exam, because most of them want to pursue medicine. They feel very passionate about it, and I think we were able to witness it when we went to the center today, and the father was in tears. He was like, I did not expect my daughter to be this brave, and full power to that girl for mustering the courage to give the paper under such circumstances. Most of her relatives told her not to give the exam, but she because she'd worked so hard, she wanted to give it.
And this dedication is what matters the most, I think, at the end of the day. How much she scores or how much anyone scores is not the question, but it's about the effort that you've put in and about the dreams and the hopes that you have.
That's wonderful. And also, most of the students, they come from faraway places, and then they were so happy that they gave the exam and their paper went good. So the NEET 2018 paper was like a moderately easy paper, and I'm sure most of you have so I hope most of you completed the paper in time. Because I know that physics was challenging, but I hope that you all were able to cover those marks in the biology section.
Okay, so we wish you all the best, and we hope that you get a really good score on the 5th of June, which is the date of the NEET results. Until then, we are uploading video solutions for all questions. So please keep having a look at our YouTube channel. We will, if you have any questions, then you can message us, and we'll be happy to reply.
Great, guys. So take a look at the answer key, and all the best for the results. Thank you so much for joining, and bye, guys. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.